Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And today I want to get a little bit philosophical on you and talk about really what music is. What is music, you might say? Now, it's kind of a trick question because music is beyond words. I can sit here and try to explain it to you, but the whole thing about music is it's not explainable. It goes beyond words. It transcends space, it transcends time, it transcends ideas and ego, and it brings us into this vibration. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about my experience of music so that it can maybe help open your mind up. So in our world right now, music has become this very separated, kind of segregated thing. Because there's a lot of reasons, but I think about the Beatles, right? Okay, the Beatles come along and, hey, can't buy me love, right? They're doing their thing, they're having a good time. Suddenly, the Fab Four, Beatlemania, all these record labels, all these people that want to make a lot of money are like, oh my God, we can make so much money doing this. And again, the Beatles were not the first, but they kind of took music industry to a whole nother level. So suddenly you have all these labels rushing out trying to find the next Beatles, and oh look, hey, with the monkeys, you got similar haircuts, and then blah, 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 whatever. But what made the Beatles truly special, I think, is that they put in so much time to owning their craft and really crafting and making these amazing songs. And you can try to create a carbon copy of that and maybe do okay, but the Beatles were the Beatles because they lived and breathed that experience. But somebody saw the potential to make a lot of money, and then suddenly as this music industry births, music becomes about, songs have to be a certain length. And again, this goes back before the Beatles and bands like Elvis, in the 50s, 60s, when rock and roll became a thing. Songs have to be 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long, for various reasons, for radio airplay, for putting them on records. And suddenly you have this whole music industry birthing where music, even though the artist might be really pure, intended, and create beautiful music, but all these people come in and you say greed and money and desire for power starts to become this thing that puts a grasp on music. And suddenly we're born, I was born in the 80s, and it's like, to me, music was pop song. All I knew of music was pop songs and these popular songs on the radio, and that's literally all I thought music was. So most of my life I went around this idea of like, either you're a musician or you're not a musician, right? Or you're aspiring to be in a band and be famous, or that's just never even possible. And I spent most of my life in that state of like, there's no way I could be a musician. But then when that changed one day and I was like, whoa, I can actually pursue this as a career, I went on this wild journey and I got into the music industry. And when we were first writing music in college, Tim and I, in this band Greenfront, it was just very uninhibited, and we were free, and we were sharing all the things we wanted to share. Started getting other bandmates, and it was this great, exciting thing. And I loved going on stage and dancing and playing and singing for people and having this incredible time. But I moved to New York City. Suddenly, you're like the small fish in the big pond, even though we still believed in our music. The record industry comes in and the record labels, and you're trying to get manager, and suddenly the music almost becomes second in a weird way to a lot of this other stuff. And in my experience, I was just feeling really weighed down by it. And one of the reasons I left my band, well, after 10 years, was because one day I was like, oh, I just love playing music. I love being on stage and like being in that place where somebody's standing there like this, and then by the end I have them just like moving and being totally free. I love that experience, but a lot of the stuff around it I just didn't like, and I felt like it was damaging my direct source to music. And again, I'm not knocking on bands because I think there are amazing bands out there that have found a way to transcend that. But for me, I realized one day, like, oh, to pursue music doesn't just have to be, this sort of professional thing, because music is this sacred thing. So when I talk about what music is, it's vibration. It's this very simple thing that connects us all. And yes, we can make it complicated and we can say, hey, this is my song I wrote and I own this and all those things. But on a much more simple level, music is this vibrational thing that brings people together. Music is something that's in your voice. Just like singing and speaking, they're so close. Because I can just talk like this and be very robotic and da-da-da-da. Or I can speak like this and, hey, everybody, what do you think? And in a way, that's just singing. I'm changing, I'm going up and I'm going down, right? So there's a million different things that you can do to start to understand your connection to music. And music isn't just one thing either. I think on a very basic layer, it is this vibrational force that we connect to that connects us all. But as you go on the journey to music, I share this stuff because I say, be open. Be open to what's possible. Be open to what music wants to be for you. Not what you think it has to be, but what it could be. And the more you're open to the possibilities of what music can be in your life, the more things just start to blossom out and become more and more expansive and wonderful. And then suddenly you're able to appreciate different styles of music. You're able to realize that, when I go out for a hike in the mountains and I'm just there, that there's music inside of me when I'm in the listening. Or I can hear the trees and that's music too, because it's that vibration. It's that harmonic experience that we sync up with. So I just wanted to share a bit about this to sort of open your mind up to recognize that music is around us at all the times. As I say, if you have a heartbeat, you have rhythm. If you have a voice, you have a song, right? So consider that you're made of music. Literally the life force within you, everything that binds you is already music. So the more you sync up with that, unless you try to play music and sort of control it, but the more you just allow the music inside of you that's already there to just kind of come out and be expressed, the more you'll be able to express yourself and experience life in a whole new way.